This next mobilization is for the deep inner hip complex. Oftentimes, we have the hip mobility for tasks that don't require a lot of depth. Then we find out the hard way. We get down on the floor and we try to move, and our back starts to hurt or our knees start to hurt. Oftentimes, the hip is the culprit. I like to refer to this as the criminal and the victim. The victim, the knee or the back, tends to be very, very loud, screaming and crying, where the criminal tends to be very, very quiet. The hip can oftentimes be a hidden prankster. It has so many different ways in which it can move when you know it's integrated right and left. And therefore, the knee and the back sometimes takes a big hit. So allow me to share with you a way to three-dimensionally mobilize the hip complex bilaterally with an emphasis on the inside, what we call the medial hip. So on the floor, all you have to do is separate your knees as far as possible to your comfort level. Then use your pelvis as a driver, backwards and forwards, nice and easy. You shouldn't feel any discomfort in your knees at all. In fact, a lot of times what you'll start to sense is in your groin area, you'll start to feel a little stretching sensation. Get a sense of your success up and down. Once you feel a little bit of tension, what I'd like you to do is take your pelvis and drive it side to side. Once again, feel the tension going backwards. Once you feel it, then go side to side. Now you're getting a two-dimensional mobilization. Once you've done that, progress to rotations. So see how I slid to my left, and then I rotated to my left. I went backwards, over and around. That's three-dimensional. So you can do this three-dimensional movement until you start to feel a little bit looser and a little bit looser. Now a progression to that would be to use what we call a distal driver. So this is a proximal driver called your pelvis. The distal driver is a little bit more advanced, but this is a progression for you, where you rotate using your foot. So my foot's the driver. And what it's doing is it's literally taking the femur bone and spinning it in a pre-stretched position. And oftentimes people will say, wow, when I do that, when that femur spins, as I'm demonstrating with my arm, I feel connective tissue that's getting caught up in a swivel type movement. And that's an important identification. If that happens, this might not be the right mobilization for you. I would refer back to the video that we did, kneeling with one foot up, putting a larger emphasis on the anterior part before you progress to this mobilization. So once again, it looks like this. Now if you want to make it a little bit more intense, you can bring your chest down a little bit lower, bring your torso into it. So as I start driving my torso, the mass of my torso becomes a weight to this preset position and then the driving mobilization. Be safe with it, be slow, and have fun most importantly.